Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So remember, these are general readings. Not everything is going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. And you should always use your own discernment. So for your key to the week this week, you've got the High Priestess. In some way this week, something is about to be revealed to you. This is something that you didn't know before. Remember, the High Priestess is hidden things revealed, and so this could be somebody is telling you a secret. Maybe somebody is revealing something to you. I feel like it's likely to be more of a piece of the puzzle that you maybe didn't have or weren't aware of in some way. And the feeling that I get from this, it's like when this information is given to you or divulged to you, it's just going to make everything go, and you know, okay, that makes sense, right? So it's like this week you're making sense of something, right? It now comes together, and it's like you get it. There's something that you get that you didn't before that really makes sense to you. So your foundation for the week is the Hermit card. Right, these two have come up a lot this week. The Hermit card I understand because we're in Virgo season, but the High Priestess has been very active this week, and I feel like in some way, shape or form we're all going to be privy to information that we didn't have before. But I often say to people, when the Hermit shows up, this is what you do in order to hear what the High Priestess has a message for you on. The fact that the foundation is the Hermit card this week, and you're very well versed at this anyway, but this week you have to exercise patience and caution and diligence, right? The Hermit card is really asking you to get very clear on the information that you're being given so that you can start to plan accordingly. And the fact that you have that High Priestess card, this might be information that comes from a source that kind of says to you, I'm not supposed to know this. I'm not supposed to tell you this, but here's what you need to know. Here's what you need to be aware of. Here's what you haven't been aware of up until now. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are a continued subby, you know I love you for it. For your actions and options this week, you've got the King of Wands, right? Under the guise of the High Priestess. This is a week to keep your cards close to your chest, my dear Librans, right? Not everything is for everyone all the time. So whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're doing behind the scenes, whatever you're putting together, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Whatever it is that you're putting together this week, it's not supposed to be shared. It's not because it's not ready. It's because whatever it is that you're building, putting together, piecing together, it's not quite... I don't even know if it's that it's not ready. I think it's more that it's not the right time. It's not the right moment. And so whatever it is that you are working on, it looks like it's quite sensitive, all right? So maybe this is something that's going to upset the apple cart. Maybe this is something that might be met with red tape. Maybe this is something that may come up against the boundaries of the law in some way, you know, like whatever it is that you're doing in some way, shape or form, it's quite sensitive. And this week I feel like you're going to have to be very conscious of that sensitivity. For your communications and conversations, you have the Moon card. This is twice now that this has come up. This is a combination. I think it might even be 3 times. I don't even really know what to say. All I can say is that this week I think we are going to see some grand reveal on the wider world stage. I'm not entirely sure I buy into it. The reason being is a new moon is a dark moon. So whatever you get, you're not 100% sure of. So that's something to be aware of. And also because the moon card is nebulous, it doesn't have, the moon card very often shows up where we're not clear on something, where we don't have all the facts. And this is going to be a challenging week for you in this regard, right? Whatever piece of information you're given this week, you will have the facts. You will have that behind the scenes knowledge that nobody else is privy to. And you're going to be in your King of Wands about it, like, I need to do something, I need to say something. And then you've got the moon card here, which suggests that as far as everybody else is aware, you know nothing. And sometimes that's the most powerful place to be, right? This as much as I'm not even going to go off on the tangent that I was like, because be strategic, all right? That's what I want to say to you. Be strategic this week. Now, when it comes to communications, you do need to be very conscious of what you're saying, how you're saying it, how it can come across, how what you're saying or what you're delivering, excuse me, could be misconstrued, right? That also is going to be quite important. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, this could be, there's a shake-up coming. Maybe the boss has been told that, you know, their job no longer exists and there's new management coming in. Whatever piece of information you're given in the work sector this week, it's not stuff that you're supposed to know. Maybe it's above your pay grade. I've really always hated that fucking term. Like, if my job affects the company, then there's nothing that really is about, like, if it really has nothing to do with me, then fine. But if it's something big that's going to affect me or my job eventually, it's never above your pay grade, right? But, you know, semantics, whatever. I will say that much on this. It looks like whatever information you have, you will be able to adjust or plan accordingly because you will know something that most others will not. I do have to say, with this mix of cards and the fact that you had the, I've forgotten what the foundation card was. What was the foundation card? No, it wasn't that. The fact that I've forgotten what your foundation card was, it's just completely gone. Anyway, you're privy to information that you shouldn't have, and you can adjust accordingly. What I will say is, it's probably best you don't divulge that communication. It was the Hermit card, yes. And sometimes wisdom is knowing what to say, when to say, or when to say nothing at all. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, again, privy to some sort of information. Maybe this is that a client's going to let you go. Maybe they're going bust and so they can't afford to pay you anymore. It could just as easily be an opportunity comes back around on the table. But the weird thing about this is as well, I kind of feel like someone's going to try to hoodwink you this week. And maybe not in a malicious way. Maybe they really can't afford to pay you what you're asking. So they're going to get you to do a certain amount of it first and then say, oh, you know, I haven't really got the rest of it. Is it okay if I pay you this? Or, you know, if they can't afford it all in one go, set up an installment plan. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's ways to get around this, but be very diligent around work and money if you own your own business or you work for yourself this week. When it comes to your those of you that are retired, if ever there were a week to work on, with, or around your spirituality, your psychic awareness and ability, this is that week. For your love and relations, you've got the Queen of Cups, right? So a Pisces or a Cancer woman features for you very strong this week, right? So whoever your water signs are, check in with them because there may be something that they've got to share with you or to say with you. Then you've got the Queen of Cups with the King of Wands. A lot of what happens with you this week is going to be based on, around, with, or connected to others. There's a lot of stuff going on with other people this week. It's not just you. You're having to navigate a lot of waters within your personal relationships, your interpersonal relationships, and even your professional relationships. There's a lot of intertwined stuff here. Now, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term relationships, the Queen of Cups is nice because it suggests that you're doing what you can to make the relationship better and or last. With that Moon card, you're probably not seeing things or hearing things as clearly as maybe you could or should be. And then for those of you that are single, I mean, there's definitely potential for fun and for passion and for sensuality and even a little bit of sexuality. You're feeling very sexual this week, right? But whoever it is that you're interacting with, you don't know this person as well as you think you might. You don't have all of the facts about them. And so for that reason, you need to be approaching this with caution. All right, that's as much as I will say on that. And then finally, for your money and materials, you've got the Nine of Wands. In this deck, specifically the Morgan Greer deck, the Nine of Wands is slightly different. This is actually a card of victory because it suggests that whatever challenges arise, you're meeting them head on. It's like, okay, well, I'm not taking this and just being vulnerable. I'm getting on the front foot and I'm going to make some shit happen. I'm all for it. You know me, I love a reframe. You've got this underneath the Moon card though. Be sure that you don't go to war for something that somebody else has started. Be sure that you don't go in, you know, on something. And this has come up for you guys before and relatively recently. So just if you're going to charge in on your horse, throwing fucks around. I love that saying. Just be sure that somebody's not wound you up and then said, yeah, right, I'm going to push you out in front of me, let you do all of the, you know, the destruction, and then I'll just walk in behind you. Yeah, when it comes to your money, it looks like you're getting very proactive about your finances this week. I will say it does look like you've got a hidden expense that's coming up this week as well. I'm really sorry. This looks like one of those, you know, like when you get to that point and you're like, everything's paid, I'm good, I've even got a little tiny stash of money left over and everything's all right. And then that one thing that you forgot to pay or, you know, had forgotten needed renewing this month comes in and just gives you a little side punch. This could be something like that. It doesn't look to be massive. It doesn't look to be something that's like, you know, if I don't have this, I won't be able to live. But it is something that does need to be attended to. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your Nine of Wands is your lower back, your buttocks, and your thighs, and you know, that general area. You've got this also for your home and environment, and in a lot of ways, I would say, because you've got that Moon card there and the High Priestess, this would be a really good week to ensure that you're, especially if you're traveling away from home or you travel for or with work, or you work outside of the home, this week really be very, very diligent about locking your doors and your windows, all right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. It's going to be an interesting week for you guys for sure. Take care, and I will see you soon.